Me that you're being punished in the UK and other countries similar for being productive. So if you're going out to work and you're working full time, you're going to get taxed heavily on that, and then you're getting taxed on all your goods and your petrol and everything's going up, and you're almost taxed. You are taxed. They take more money off you than they take off anybody else. So it puts people off doing something. Businesses as well, it's the same. The amount of small business owners that are awake are telling me, oh, by the way, I'm thinking of packing this in and growing the brew. Everybody's in Wetherspoons every day with a pint, and I'm sitting here busting my arse, and I'm getting taxed more than I'm making, and I'm not really doing as well as I should be. That's what it's like in protest movements as well. When people get too cliquey, and it's the people that are down in tools or never picked up tools to begin with, when they become ultra cliquey and see anybody as a threat to their groupthink clique, they attack that person and try and micromanage every aspect that they can, and it just becomes completely unrewarding for people to put themselves out there, for people to do anything productive and meaningful, because they'll just get attacked. They'll just have 7 fingers pointing at them going, oh, Shill, oh, he's this, she's that, or the next thing, just because they haven't done it themselves, or they won't do it, or they're not particularly interested. And that's a shame. We can't micromanage people. That never works. You need to trust people to do simple tasks. All these things that's happening, like that, it does put people off. Think back in 2020, how many people actually done protests off their own back? There was more than there is now. And then there's a couple of people only did 1 or 2. Right? So at one point there was quite a lot. Now people are very reluctant to do it. You know? But it's interesting because that is a strategy of the services. That's what they do. They like to dissuade people and distract people and usurp energy quietly, and that stops whatever it is they're trying to stop. They have them in casinos. All they did in the 80s, you go into Vegas, you're winning the craps table, you're winning too good. So naturally they want to chuck you out because you're losing the money. But they can't, because you're sticking to the rules, you're playing the game, you just happen to be playing it well. But no, they don't want to lose money. So what do? They send over a cooler, the spectre of defeat. Some guy wearing black, and he'll sit beside you until your luck changes. Okay, that's a bit of a superstitious one, but these people were used. These people were used. Be interesting to look up more than that. If you look it up yourselves and you find that interesting information about that, please let me know. There's a good bit of iron there. All sorts of finds in these woods, by the way. So I'm going to plank that up here for later. But they have the coolers. You know, there is coolers out there. It's crazy because the people that genuinely want change, the people that have the energy of 10 men, the people that will stop at nothing in order to see some sort of minor change, they notice right away when somebody's got their hands round the handbrake, when you've got the accelerator down as far as your foot will allow you. They notice that right away. Of course you would. And I assume it's the opposite is the case also. The ones that like to cool things down, the ones that like to distract, the ones that like to destroy anybody, any sign of anybody or anything that's effective. Must notice these people with potential and ability right away. And most of it's unspoken. Most of it's unspoken. But it's very noticeable when you've got a team of 7 people, you've got a team of 5, and you're all united. Look at Celtic and Rangers, right? Look at their ties. The stripes are going a certain direction, and the whole team, the whole club wears it to signify we are one. We're pulling in one direction. It's very noticeable, and if you can get that, there's no stopping me. And it's a joy. I mean, these things, even exerting millions of energy into it can be an absolute joy. So it can, when it's right, and when you've got the right folk, and you just want to do it every minute, every day, because there's no way. Because you've got your team beside you, and everybody is pulling in the right direction, and then you start to get momentum, and then there's fuck all in your way, you know. But if you're having a tug of war with the opposite team, and one of your team just decides to turn round and just start pulling in the same direction as the other team, you're going to notice it. It's going to be, these things are measurable. You know, the truth is not subjective. And if it's not subjective, let's do something about it and create the conditions where we can thrive, because they were there before. Then the shelf life kicked in. You know? But if the conditions were once there, they can be replicated again. And like everybody, like back the outreach class of 2021, the best activists I've ever seen in this island. Absolutely amazing. From Wayne, the Scottish founder, to everybody else. Best guys I've ever seen in my life. We're all united, man. All absolutely united. There was no division. There was not even a smelly division. There was nothing. It was completely alien to what it's like today. And don't get me wrong, today's okay. We're getting there. We're getting there, and it's going good. But I need to just say again for the 115th time to anybody that will listen, that team we had back then was amazing, man. Amazing. Like, for example, the guy said, one of the guys, and we didn't really have, it wasn't like a spoken thing where there was a leader. Well, I mean, there's a natural hierarchy in life and it's just adhered to. Nobody has to speak about it. It's when people try and destroy or circumvent this natural rhythm that causes problems. You know, it's unnatural. Just leave it alone, man. The way God intended. It's all written there for you. You just let it stream, you know what I mean? Just move left and right a wee bit and forward. Follow the current. Don't try and swim upstream like a sausage roll. It's no... I mean... Unless you're a salmon, obviously. This is an example. I'm going to make a couple of examples of the same fish, right? So, Roy Keane, when he was sitting in Manchester United in the tunnel, you've seen the clip, and the ref walks up to Keane and he's like, says something. Keane's like, nah, I'm the leader of this team, I'll go on the pitch when I want. Charges onto the pitch, and the full team just follow him without question. They're committed, they're following their captain. The manager's instructed them to follow the captain and him to stick together, stick to the game plan, win the game, go on that pitch before their opponents. And the team just went. Now that's unity. Now everybody screams about unity, but they don't understand what it is, or they're not explaining it, or they're not really creating conditions where unity can happen. Right? Now another example is when the founder and custodian of the old outreach back 2021 turned around and says, I'm going to London. We says, when we gone? is one, we just turn around and says, when are we going? Because there was no need for debate, there was no need for division, there was no need for questions, there was no need to think. The thinking had already been done. Everybody knew why we were here, and we were fully committed and invested in supporting what we were trying to do. There was no need to start coming up with fantasies in your head why this was going to be unproductive. And we went to London and it was great. Whereas some, not all, I'm just talking about a very, very small percentage of folk. But it's important we all recognise this, I think. Today, if somebody was to... I can't even imagine it. If somebody was to, in that kind of situation, say, I'm going to London, you'd say, that's a bit far away. How much is it? Who's gone? What day? What for? You know, it would be just... It's a non-starter. But the back end was incredible. And it's I mean, I had some really good times there with these guys, because it is incredible the weights that you can lift when you've got a team beside you that are capable of lifting the world. There's no stop me. There's no stop me. After a while, people come, people go, dynamics change, and it's not the same. But you can't forget the memory of how capable certain individuals could be, and how easy it is, how much you could get done in such a short space of time. You can't forget that. That is the benchmark, which has never been replicated since in that small period of time. It's really quite incredible. I find it absolutely fascinating, because today, I mean, the things we did back then, we done a protest in 2 weeks' notice, got about 1,200 people, no problem. Never done it before in my life. Boom, success. But see, after you get more people that know who you are, and more people that quote unquote want to help, nothing works. Nothing works, man. Suddenly you need 9 months to promote something that took you 2 weeks, and then you nothing works at all. It's almost completely pointless trying to do it. It's more or less impossible. And then if you persevere and go ahead anyway, the thing that you've already planned looks and feels and sounds and smells nothing like it was supposed to be. You know, so hopefully there were some interesting points in there for you. But the outreach team again, back in 2021, was the best activists I've ever seen on this island. Relentless, with a smile. And then see as well, when we walked into the meeting place, shall we call it, it was a pub. There was no need to set rules and regulations, and you can't speak, and this person's to hold a coaster or some sort of inanimate object in order to use our vocal cords. There was none of that. We just spoke. There was no agenda. Everybody was interested in what we're supposed to be interested in anyway, and the agenda was set naturally. It was second nature. There was no need for intellectuals. I mean, it was common sense, and it was beautiful. And on the other hand, there was also nobody interrupting each other, like baboons. It was like, you don't do that, you just speak when somebody's finished and chime in. I miss those days because it was great. I do see some of this coming back. I'm hopeful it's going to look something like before. And time will tell. But it was night and day between the two different groups. The two different styles of getting things done and not getting things done. You know, it was incredible. And it was a joy. You know, and that's the way it should be. Sometimes it doesn't matter about what you think in your head, sometimes you need to go with your gut And if you're walking into a meeting going, I'm not going to be listened to, I'm not going to be given the time, these people are going to go against me over here, regardless of what I say, even if it's something they innately agree with or not. It's a waste of time. Don't go. Do your own meeting. You know, because it can be done. You don't need to. I mean, as I said, when we walked into that pub, people just laughing, joking, talking. What we doing next? Right there, that then. Boom. Did you see the football? No, we don't watch football because we're not into that. Boom, boom, boom. It was great. It was absolutely fantastical. And to hope the times return. Because there's too many good people out there to be led astray by a few wolf in sheep's clothing.